Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to be doing another top 10 list. And today's top 10 list will be my top 10 worst superhero movies of all time. This is a list you guys have been requesting for a very long time, so I thought it'd be fitting if I bring you this, this top 10 list right here, right now. So let's get right into this list. So here we go. Alrighty, so my number 10 is Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. Where do I begin with this garbage? Well, all these movies are garbage, but this garbage piece of garbage. Because this movie is just awful. This movie is so bad. The first Ghost Rider movie to me wasn't that bad. It was okay at best, but this one right here, this movie, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, was just not good. It was horrible. It just from everything. The acting was horrible. Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider was just horrendously bad. The visuals weren't that good. The action wasn't that good. It was directed by the same guys that made Crank. I haven't seen those films, but just Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance is not a good movie. I didn't really enjoy it. It's not a good movie, and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance has my number 10. My number 9 is Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd, man.
This is the reason people didn't go see the new Dredd movie, because this one was such an abomination. An abomination. This was an abomination. You've got Sylvester Stallone as Judge Dredd, okay, fine. You got Diane Lane in the movie, okay, fine. Then you have Rob Schneider in the film. Not the best decision, but, I thought, Sylvester Stallone was awful as Judge Dredd. This is his worst movie, by the way. Sylvester Stallone was awful as Judge Dredd. He really was. Diane Lane was not good in this movie, and they're both really good actors. And Rob Schneider, this is the worst I probably have ever seen Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider is horribly bad. He is not good as the comedic element of this movie. He just is not. And it's just so painful to watch. I mean, the lines in this movie. I am the law. What? It's just baffling what lines made it into this movie, So yeah, Judge Dredd is my number 9. My number 8 is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Okay, let me get this straight off the bat. If you think this new Fantastic Four movie is worse than this pile of garbage, what is wrong with you? Because this movie is awful. This movie is so bad. First off, it's got PG rating. Who in the right mind gives a PG rating to a superhero film in, this kind of more PG-13 darker era for superhero films, you know what I'm saying? Gets a PG rating. Oh my goodness. And then, you've got the Fantastic Four and everything. Reed Richards. I forgot the actor's name who plays him, but he's not good. Michael Chiklis, my boy, he's not good. Chris Evans, who was really good in the first movie, but for some reason just thinks he needs to go a bit more over the top-ish in this one. And of course, Jessica Alba is not good as the Invisible Woman. She just was not. She's not a good Invisible Woman. She's horrible. And then you got the Silver Surfer in here, who is played by my boy Lawrence Fishburne. My boy Lawrence Fishburne. Fishburne. He provides the voice for Silver Surfer, and he just seems so wooden when he's doing it, and just the visuals are not good. They make Galactus a cloud storm. And the whole switching of the powers thing was really thrown off, in my opinion. It really was just something to put in there. I didn't really like that, like how they kept on switching their powers. That was not good. So yeah, my number 8 is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Number 7, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Where do I begin with this one? Just there's so many problems with this movie. Like from like Fox, like apparently I think they bullied the director and was really just like forcing him to do stuff that he didn't really want to do. Hugh Jackman, he tries his hardest to save this movie. He just could not. Liev Schreiber tries as well. No, he doesn't save it either. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, that could have been my only positive if they would have kept it how it was in the beginning of the film. But no, we're going to cut off his mouth. We're going to give him Baraka claws and laser vision. Whose idea was that? Was someone high that day? Was someone high that day when they were making that decision? Because someone must have been, because who in their right mind would make that decision to do that to Deadpool? Thankfully, this new movie's going to bring him justice, but back to this one, just the claws. Some of the worst special effects I've ever seen. The claws for this movie, they looked better in the first 3 movies. The first movie was made in 2000, and it looked better in that movie than it did in the movie made in 2009. I'm not kidding. Just, X-Men Origins Wolverine, it's not a good movie, just... oh, it's so bad. The writing is horrible. It's written by Skip Woods, who wrote A Good Day to Die Hard as well. Oh, okay. Just, let's move on to number 6. My number 6 is Elektra. Okay, Elektra, you know, I didn't mind her in the first in the Daredevil movie. She was good. She was fine. But making her own movie wasn't the best decision, because this movie is garbage. It really is. I mean, Jennifer Garner, I like her as an actress. She's really good, but she was not good in this movie. She looks exactly like Elektra from the comic books, but sometimes what's better, looking exactly like someone from the comic books, or actually getting the part right. But you know, the writing was horrible, the directing wasn't all that good, the action was very underwhelming. Just nothing was good about this movie. And I just don't like this movie at all. It's just a complete mess of a film and a very unnecessary spin-off, in my opinion. So yeah, Elektra comes in at number 6. Number 5, Hulk from 2003. Man, you know, as you all know, the Hulk is my favorite superhero of all time. And this movie is horrible. This movie is not good. I mean, you've got, first off, this movie is boring. When I tell you boring, it's boring. It is 2 hours and 18 minutes. How do you make a Hulk film boring? Well, apparently Ang Lee knew how to make a Hulk film boring, because, yes, Ang Lee directed this. How? It's just very boring. I mean, just the special effects for the Hulk. Oh my goodness, the special effects for the Hulk were just horrible. I mean, go back to that film and see how bad the special effects looked for the Hulk. It looked terrible. Eric Bana, everybody was alright, I guess. The acting wasn't atrociously bad, but, you know, just, it was meh at best. But it's not the worst thing about this movie. The directing is not that good. The writing is horrible. Just, this movie's terrible. A very bad representation of the Hulk, in my opinion. Just really bad. So yeah, my number 5 is Hulk from 2003. Number 4, the most disappointing movie of all time. Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3, man. I wanted this movie to be good. I thought this movie could have been the best Spider-Man movie. From how it was looking, this could have been the best Spider-Man movie. And I just left disappointed. Like, disappointed is not even the word for it. I love Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite films of all time. It is one of the best sequels ever made. And then this one is just a complete train wreck. This is one of the worst sequels ever made. One of the worst films I've ever seen. It is horrible. Everything from, just the effects. The effects were not good in this movie. Look back at this film. The effects weren't even that good with this movie. Topher Grace cast as A. Brock / Venom. Some of the worst casting I've ever seen in my life. Tobey Maguire, it just seems like he's playing a parody of himself once he puts on the black suit, when he's dancing around. Okay. And it's just horrible, and the rest of the acting's not at its finest. I know everybody says the Sandman part of the movie is really good, his story. I didn't care. I didn't care for his character because the movie didn't do enough for me to make him care about his storyline, and I just could care less, and I was still sitting there bored. This movie is horribly bad, and, so yeah, Spider-Man 3 comes in at number 4. Number 3, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Okay, I'm gonna just say this. You've got a villain in this movie called Nuclear Man. Do I need to say more? This movie is so bad. It is so horrendously bad that it killed Christopher Reeve's career. He even says that this movie has killed his career. It's just, this movie all around is just bad. I mean, they should have stopped after 3. After 3 wasn't the worst thing ever, but 3 still wasn't that good. They should have just stopped, and this movie was made, and oh my goodness. The movie is so bad that they had to use the same flying sequence for every single time Superman would fly. That is baffling. He rebuilds the Wall of China with lasers, okay, Superman 4: The Quest for Peace is a horrible superhero film. It's one of the worst superhero films ever made, and just one of the worst films ever made in general. Superman 4: The Quest for Peace comes in at number 3. Number 2, Catwoman. We could go on for an hour about this film because this is just atrociously bad. I mean, the way she is resurrected, I said this in the video I did for the Universe of the Blue Tubers where I did the In the Sewer, portion where we do over, under, and in the sewer. I did the in the sewer portion where I talked about this film. And I said in that video that it was, the way she gets resurrected is so dumb. It's dumber than it was in Batman Returns. I believe it was just one lick. Or the smell of the cat, I believe, in this movie. Just horrible. Halle Berry, why can't I ever say her name right, was horrible as Catwoman. Sharon Stone was horrible as the villain. And also the suit. The suit is horrible. I guess the directors were like, hey, everybody thinks Halle Berry's an attractive woman, right? So let's give her this very trashy superhero outfit for this movie, and everybody will find it sexy. No, it's just trashy looking. She looks like, it's just, it was a very trashy suit, and I didn't like it. It just looked horrible on her, and it was just awful. The effects are so bad in this movie. It looks like a cartoon. It really does. The whole writing is horrible with this film. And also, yeah, Catwoman is my number 2. So yeah. Okay, I'm not sugarcoating it. If you know my channel for a long time, you already know what my number 1 is. My number 1 worst superhero film of all time is Batman and Robin. It's It's just you already know what the worst is. It's Batman and Robin. I'm not going to speak too much on this film because I've done it so many times. But just this movie is horrible. This is horrendously awful. This is going to be the worst thing you will ever see in your life. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. That and Human Centipede 3. This movie is horrible on every standard. The acting, the directing, the dialogue, the writing, the effects, the characters, just everything about this movie is awful. And I just could not stand Batman and Robin. It is the worst film I've ever seen in my life, along with The Human Centipede 3. Just this movie is terrible. You should never see this film. Even if you love Batman, stay away from this movie. Just stay away from it, because it's going to ruin your perspective of Batman, and it really does. So yeah, just Batman and Robin is a horrible film, so yeah. So yeah guys, that's my top 10 worst superhero films of all time list. Did you guys enjoy this list? What did you think of this list? And what are your top 10 worst superhero films of all time? Leave them in the comment section below. And I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we will see you all later. Peace.